I'm finally doing this and I'm so happy. Today is my birthday and today is the day I'll be posting a video on Influencer Zone's YouTube channel for like the first time this year. So we've just been doing Instagram for now and I'm excited I'm shooting this video for YouTube. So yeah, so today basically I'll just be talking about my growth process and the story of how I started and how the journey has been so far for me. So guys, I will just delve into it. It started for me with a hunger. I realized I was no longer satisfied. I wanted more. I wanted to do more with my life. So all of the people that inspired me, I saw that they were not mediocre. All of the people that inspired me were doing so much. They were improving on themselves and they were like showing us the processes, and those things made me become more intentional about my life. I just didn't want to do things the normal way anymore. I just did not want to live life the usual way. I wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to do more with my life. I wanted to make impact. So it was not like I just woke up one morning and said I want to post positive content. No, it wasn't that for me. It came from a place of hunger. I'd hungered for it for a while, for like a really long while. I'd hungered for it. So if you would ask me what it was that triggered me to get intentional about my life, it was the fact that I was hungry for more. I wanted to do more, basically. So it was the hunger and the insatiable need that prompted me to get intentional about my life. I had no clue whatsoever how to start. I just knew I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more productive. I wanted to impact lives, but I did not know how to start. I did not know the first step to take. I did not even have the time. So there was no time. So I had fellowship I was doing in school and I was so passionate about it. I was the JB Summit Assistant General Secretary too. I was the president of my fellowship. I was a member of Impact Leaders Club. From becoming a member, I was the director of program and event at Impact Leaders Club. Then there was just so much and there was no time to really focus on myself and spell out the things that I wanted to do. Many people get to make impact in different ways. I had not figured that out yet. I was still confused. I was still thinking, Ada, what would you do with your life? What do you want to do? I had no answer. I had no clue because I had a lot of things that were overwhelming me at that point. And I had my academics as well, which is like the major reason why I was in school at the time. And it was just crazy. It just lingered in my heart that I needed to do more, but I did not know how to start. I know that many people are in these shoes. Many people do not know how to start something that they've always wanted to start. Many people have no clue whatsoever, just like I in those times. So I think what I started doing then was to really get intentional about my WhatsApp status. I like to post my pictures. I'm a pretty girl. Hey. So I like to post my pictures. I just like to put something there for people to see. I like to record moments, times with my friends. I like to just put it there and celebrate people. But I just realized that I needed to that change I wanted to make needed to come from that platform, that little platform that I had. A lot of people get to view my status. I get quite a number of views on my WhatsApp status, and I changed my content immediately. It's not like I wasn't celebrating my friends anymore. It's not like I wasn't posting my pictures anymore. I just became very intentional. It wasn't a constant thing anymore. You would hardly see me just post it every day. So if I'm reading a book, maybe I get to get a book to read, I would post excerpts from the book. I just wanted to see people get better. I just wanted to see people learn the things I was learning at the time. No matter how little, because it was really a little way, it was a really small way, but I started. So it wasn't quite easy to start, we hear motivational speakers say that it is easy to start, but the difficulty comes in continuing and being consistent. In my case, it was quite difficult to start because I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do. I needed to at least have clarity a little before setting out. In no time, people began to commend me. That you're doing well. Oh, I like this. Oh, do you have the PDF of this book? Please share with me. I don't know how to express and explain how happy I was at those times, because I felt like I was helping people live their dreams. I was helping people get better. I knew that those books would help them. So when someone chats me up and say, Ada, I need this book, do you still have it? I happily share it with them, knowing that it is my own little way of contributing to their lives. In those periods, I was still in school. I was still trying to start up my little wing business. I wasn't focused so much in that. I was trying to get my grades up. I was doing I was serving God. I was doing all of that, but I started. I started very little, but I started. I think that's something you should note. I started, and it is very key that you start, irrespective of how choked up with activities you are. A really, really, really defining moment for me was, or defining period rather, for me was during the lockdown. I've heard a lot of testimonies from people about the lockdown, how they were able to do things that they dared not even dream about, how they had time for themselves. Wow, I was one of such people. The lockdown, I had a lot of time. So fellowship was strictly online. We would always do WhatsApp service. We just have people, we created a group, then would invite speakers to talk to us. So it wasn't even a very regular thing. Then JB Summits, we were always having online meetings, but everything was sort of in hold at that time. And I had like virtually all the time to myself. I wasn't happy that there was virus lurking around, but I was happy that I finally had some time for myself, some time to focus on myself. And that was a really defining moment in my life. I would never talk about my growth process without talking about the lockdown, because it started earnestly from there for me. I think that period I read a lot of books, a lot of life-changing books. So I also enrolled for a webinar. This webinar, I enrolled for many webinars, but this particular webinar was one that played a key role in my life. It was the 40 Days Purpose Challenge, and it was hosted by Mr. Ikemba Uchemba. I don't know if I got the name right, but yeah, Mr. Ikemba. And he told us to read a book that period. The title of the book is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And every day we would read a chapter of the book for 40 days, and we would convey on the platform to talk about the things we've learned. My God, it was no longer a routine. So the first, second, third, fourth day, it was like a routine. I felt like I was obligated to just do it. Oh, maybe at that you want to do something with your life, you want to get to know what you're meant to do with your life, just do it. But after a few days, it was beyond that. I craved for nights. 9 p.m. would always start. I craved for that, for those nights in those periods, because I learned a lot. I made a few friends, people with like minds, people that want to shake their world, people that want to do a lot of things, people that dreamt big. And it was a really defining moment for me in my growth process. The books I read that period that helped me, so not all the books helped, but there are some books that helped me, and I'll just share them here, and also probably drop it in the comments so that you can see it, and I'll pin it if possible. So one of those books, like I said, 40 The Purpose Driven Life. The second one that really helped me was No Excuses by Brian Tracy. Then I read a particular book. It's a Christian book, The Unashamedly Cray. I read another book again, Goals by Brian Tracy. I think those 4 books really, really changed my life. It didn't end there as well. I took courses, so I wanted to get better. I took paid courses in HR, I love HR. God. So if you are my close friend and you don't know that I am in love with human resources, you need to check that friendship. I love HR. So I used that period to better myself. I took courses in recruitment and selection. I took courses in the background knowledge of HR. I was doing something that period. So every day I wake up and I'm eager and expectant. Oh, what am I going to do today? I did not let any day pass without me doing something relevant in my life. No way, no way, no way. And in no long time, my parents began to notice changes. Everybody began to notice, and people began to confide in me, and they saw me as like a coach. So people would ask me questions, and that I need clarity on this. I have been working in this line, I'm not happy about it. How do I switch? How do I? And I've invested a lot of time doing this. It's quite difficult to now totally change from this line I've been working on for a long time to another line. And people were asking me questions. I'm like, what's going on? So I know that it's because they saw the change in me. If you really make efforts to better yourself, if you really make efforts to better yourself, the results would show. The results would definitely show. People would commend you. So it's not even about the commendments. It's not about that. But it's about knowing that you are leaving your footprints in the lives of a lot of people. And that is one thing I am so happy about. Also, during that process, I got to start Influencer Zone. Influencer Zone is like my baby. Yes, I got to start Influencer Zone during that period. I can't even overemphasize the level of confidence I began to exude. So I was so confident in myself because I knew that I'd taken deep roots to better myself. I had content, so you never just call me to talk and I would have nothing to say. I'd read a lot of books, I'd developed content, I'd gotten better with my life. So it eventually just helped boost my confidence level. I would never get afraid to speak at any gathering because I know that I would say something that is right. I know that I would never just talk off point. And that was what being intentional about growing helped me achieve. I don't know, but it has just been a really, what's the word? Somebody should give me a word now. Give me a word now. So it has just really been a phase in my life that I would forever be grateful for. I am still on that journey. There's no ending. We keep growing, we keep getting better. But during the last 2 years of my life till now, I can see and tell that I have gotten better, so much better, and I am so happy and I am so proud of myself. Am I sounding proud? Whatever. I've put in the work. I'm so proud of myself, and I just wish that anybody out there with that hunger gets the motivation to start up something, gets the motivation to do better things with his or her life. So I should talk about this too. In 2019, during a prayer vigil, attended a vigil, and we were praying. I had a voice in my head that I need to raise influencers. I'm like, what happened? Because I'm never that person at the forefront. I just like to support. I don't like to initiate things, or maybe I've always wanted to, but I did not just think I would be capable enough to do that. So I heard it and I wrote it down. So you know when you heard something so strong while praying, I just picked up my jotter and wrote it down, and I did nothing about it. But during the growth process, during the time when I became very intentional about my life, and more specifically during the lockdown, I knew what I wanted to do with Influencer Zone because I was scared. I did not know what to do, but clarity came when I started working on myself. I knew what I wanted. I became sure of what I wanted, And the first ever move I made was to open an Instagram account. I opened a YouTube channel. Okay, I didn't open a YouTube channel immediately. I opened Twitter, I opened Facebook, and I started posting my content beyond WhatsApp. And I remember also writing, having like a write-up, and I sent the message to all the people on my WhatsApp contact list, and I got a lot of criticisms. Okay, maybe not so much, but I got a number of criticisms. People were like, Ada, what's this? What are you planning to do with this? I think you should still seek the face of God. I think what is Influencer Zone about? What are you trying? So I don't know, but it was just some negative comments, and I began to think, oh, am I really supposed to do this? I don't even want to do this before. And I'm seeing a lot of critics. But after some time, those criticisms became like a booster for me, and I'm happy I started. It was during the lockdown, I remember starting Influencer Zone fully. And the next year I interviewed Kemi Ogunsoya and the Purpose Coach Ore, and I really started doing things and started making impact the little way I could. And I am still doing that. I'm telling this story to get somebody hyped and get somebody psyched about doing something with his or her life. There is no stopping you. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. There is no limit to what you can do. If you check my Instagram highlights on my personal Instagram page, @adeziobasi_, you see some of the things I've written down there. I had to put aside a lot of things. I had to be more intentional about the friends I kept, and the conversations changed really. So we weren't having meaningless conversations, or maybe once in a while would have those meaningless conversations, but most times it was conversations that would help us get better. Guys, so now I'm here. I'm still learning. I still want to get better. I'm even more hungry. That hunger I felt then, it's like quadrupled right now. I still want to do so much. I still want to better my life, better my world, make an impact, never be forgotten, and I know I won't. So yes, this is the story of how it started for me, of how my growth process started. And I'm happy that I've finally gotten to share this with people. So don't stop at whatever it is you're doing. Continue to get better. So I guess this is the end of my story, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it.